So a Spanish and a Brazilian couple had an unfortunate situation happening to them in a remote area in India. So Fernanda and Vicente have a unique experience in traveling around the world and very unique places that most people don't see, and hey, it seemed safe. But last year they got really famous for the wrong reason, not because it was their fault. They were confronted by 7 men that put a knife to his neck and took the lady to a specific place so they can have a little fun with her. Later they provided actually an updated video what happened on that night, and to be specific, they were looking for a place to sleep remotely in a remote area. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they were going to camp in a remote area in India. They saw a person talking on the phone and then they chose this specific place to be, hey, nobody is seeing us here, we can kinda camp safely. And they started to set up camp, and it didn't take them long that 7 men were ready to see what the heck is happening. That is the first red flag that you should have bounced and leave forever. This is the same group that's going to have fun with his partner within a few hours.
Que íbamos a estar solos. Grave error. Salió.
And later he even said he was eating from a bag of peanuts and one of these people just came by and like, hey, I'm going to grab some peanuts. And I'm like, maybe he's testing the ground. And the guy even said, well, if you just asked, I could have given to you.
Ese que veis ahí, el de la camiseta de Chicago, fue uno de los hijos de puta que nos asaltaron. Antes de que grabáramos esto, Fernanda estaba comiendo cacahuetes, ese se acercó, le cogió los cacahuetes sin pedirle permiso y fue cuando Fernanda le dijo, si me pides yo te doy, pero no me los cojas sin permiso, aunque no debió entender nada porque no hablaba absolutamente nada de inglés.
I could never imagine somebody walk up to my wife, stick his hand in the bag that she was eating, and my wife also responds, hey, you can kindly ask. And when the person doesn't even speak the same language, I would be like, honey, what the heck are we doing? And they decided to drive away around 2 kilometers and go eat at a restaurant. And Vicente was happy they were not following, and I'm like, yeah, you're on a bike, rural remote area. That's why they appeared behind the grass and you didn't see them coming, because they did not arrive with a bike like a ninja. Well, I could assume the plan was to eat at a restaurant, but hey, traveling is safe and dandy. They bought a fuel supply and decided, hey, let's go back. So they decided to go back.
Estamos volviendo ahora al sitio que vimos anteriormente para acampar. Creemos que ya no habrá nadie, al menos es lo que esperamos.
And then Fernanda realized, hey, honey, they're still there.
Nos bajó del tema. Están ahí. Ay, cariño, nos van a ver. Lo sabes, ¿no? Y es aquí a la derecha. No haga ruido. No me alumbre mucho, da espacio para que no se vea la moto. ¿Era por aquí? Ah, sin acelerar bruscamente, que no se nos oiga, sobre todo.
I can't even understand how the guy reacted. Wait, what? They're here? What do you mean they're here?
Yo si estuviera viajando sola, no creo que acampara.
Yo sí acamparía.
Claro, porque eres un hombre.
And they even admitted, correction, she even admitted, I wouldn't have come back if I knew they were going to be there. And the guy was like, I would.
Yo sí acamparía.
I'm like, what? Amen. That's why we need to talk about weak men.
Lucha contigo, tú tienes más probabilidad de zafarse que una mujer.
And in the end, they set up camp and decided to sleep. Their clothes, I don't know, but they found them. And they separated them, put a knife on his neck, and they took her away and ayo momo. And I'm like, I don't even understand how many red flags you need to see that you don't bounce. It's the same group. Waited for you, hoping you would come back. But in all honesty, even if Vicente made a bunch of mistakes by my standard, I also think the savages are mainly to blame for this whole situation. But we live in a Western society that you're not allowed to discern or see the danger in specific situation, because you might label certain people for a specific reason, so you assume nothing is going to happen because hey, it's culture. They might just think a little different, but I'm not a right-winger, so I have something to prove. I'm not a bigot, I'm not a stereotype, and I'm not that specific Western people that don't want them over here. But sometimes if you're not prejudiced, it can lead to harm. Especially when you say, hey, I don't mind, I know you're afraid, but I don't mind.
Yo sí acamparía.
I would do it again. Just like saying I don't mind going to the jungle with my wife, because if a lion comes, all I have to do is run faster than my wife. But guess what? A bunch of people got puzzled by the reaction of the couple. In the comment section they said, hey man, the sixth sense of the woman was on point. ignored by a man. Another comment that he insisted that all is okay. You saw the guys over there, but instead of leaving, you decided to camp there. He knew she was not comfortable, but he took responsibility. How can you take responsibility of something that's going to happen, but it's only going to happen to her, but not you? And you guys know me, I don't like to call microaggression. But bruh, if a microaggression is going to use for something that's not going to happen to you, nah, that definitely is not a responsible man, and he lives in delusion. And remember, we're not talking about all men in India, but in remote area you should consider certain things. Because instead of warning people, especially women, not to go to specific part of India.
Y no penséis que India es así. India es un gran país, y vale la pena visitarlo con sus cosas buenas y sus cosas malas. Y eso ha sido un incidente. Y no, eso nos tiene que dejar el recuerdo de un país malo. No es así.
They're literally telling people to not generalize.
La gente, los indianos son buena gente. Hemos pues chocado con
Unos indeseables que lo que
Sí.
esperamos es que se mueran en la cárcel.
pero no hay que generalizarlo. La policía está haciendo todo lo que puede.
They actually claim that, hey, this can happen in America too. I'm like,
Cantidad de cosas absurdas que es impresionante la incultura de la gente. La cuestión es que esto, una violación, un robo, puede pasarte a ti, a tu hermano, a tu madre, a tu hija, a todo el...
they even said India is safer than Europe because they have been robbed in Europe. That's their logic. But officially, if you want to talk about the peanut that they touched, you kinda did get robbed in India. There was even a comment that was placed on their videos that, yo, the way you dress, maybe it's not the best thing to do in specific countries. Even specific magazine like Reuters was saying that, hey, this is one of the countries that is the least safe for any woman in the world. And even if you look at the top 10 of this list, you're not gonna find any European countries on that list. Weeks later, they were still giving interviews telling, hey ladies, you need to just travel to that country. And even weeks later, the pair were giving media interviews and telling ladies, hey, just travel, even alone. Telling the ladies they need to challenge outdated norms and go against the risk and go against the danger. Maybe that is the reason when the lady was like, I used to blame all men, but the guy was like, hey, bigot, it's okay, they're not all the same.
Yo sí acamparía.
But what's the point about talking about it, because you're not allowed to talk about reality. Even if somebody in that country tell them what the heck is happening, they will tell the person you are racist against your own people. But when you come to a Western country, oh my god, they definitely see men in a very different way that they would never see another person from another country. And guess what? The media is consistently pushing, hey ladies, travel alone to prove a point. And when the bad things happen to you, we're going to use the statistic to tell all the men in Western country it's still happening.
I'm at the beach. I want to show you guys the beautiful view. God damn. I can't even see the water.
That happened in India. But 88% of the ladies, they don't feel safe. But do they still have a moral point to prove? There was also a holy festival that they told the ladies, hey, maybe you should not be on the street.
All I've heard is that I can't go outside, I can't do this, and I can't do that. Someone just came up to me, put paint on one side of my face, and grabbed my boob really hard with the other hand. And I haven't even made it down the street yet. And I mean, like, this whole group is just stalking us. Like, literally, we're walking trying to get away from them, and they're just following us. Hi guys, I am in India. Men, just random passing by with Livia right there, reached out and grabbed me, were touching me, groping me. This one guy walking by kind of leaned, like his face was right here, and he just said to me, I want to fuck you, right into my face.
It's lovely to meet you.
Yes,
Yeah.
my dear friends. It's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Yes,
Cool.
I like so much. Yes.
Okay, you can
Beauty,
let go now,
beauty.
thank you. If you come to India, expect to be manhandled and groped.
Kaya May Turner has a bunch of tips for us.
Firstly, if you can get a female-only hostel, I would recommend to do that.
And to not walk at night alone.
Be wandering the streets in the middle of the night in quiet places.
But still, with the feminist trends, would you prefer to be in the jungle with a man or a bear?
In an insanely viral video, random women are asked, if you were alone in the woods, would you rather encounter a bear or a man? Well, here's how they answered.
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Man is scary. With a bear. Depends what man, but probably a bear.
100% a bear, which is like terrifying to say, but
Definitely a bear. Some men are very scary.
So encountering a bear in a remote area is safer than encountering a man? Okay. But remember, you can never say which kind of man, because that goes against diversity.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Butta fire na mi blonde, kush hash, purple skunk, criollo, colombici, jam jam, durloketa, berdetta, welcome.